Can you hear the birds? Yeah, they're ready for spring. So am I. Luckily, here in Arizona, it is gorgeous. I don't know if I can say that about other parts of the US, but I am ready for spring. I threw on a dress today, and you guys all need to move here. It's gonna be 80 this week. Work on that tan. Thank you guys for returning. I appreciate it so much. Not too much to go over today, but I'm excited to tell you guys what I have been up to the last couple weeks. The last time I recorded was a couple days before I left to go to Reno, Nevada for my girlfriend's birthday. It was amazing. It was too cold for me. And usually people like to walk away with a souvenir or a memento, something, you know, to remember the trip. Photos are great, but a concussion is even better. Long story short, alcohol was not involved. Sunday morning about 2:30, we were walking out of a casino because my girlfriend wanted to go waste $40, and it was super cold. My hands were in my jacket pockets. I tripped and scuffed up my right hand, busted up my left knee, and hit my head twice. I actually bounced. I have a little makeup on it today. But yeah, I'll insert a photo of my lipstick matching the blood coming from my head. So I love my friends. They love to document all these fabulous moments. I was fine though, totally good. No stitches. Stitches are a thing that need to happen like pronto. And the blood did stop coming out of my head. So I also was in another state, so I definitely did not want to deal with that ER bill. And it was more of a scoop out of my forehead than a like laceration. But it's healing up nicely. I'm really thankful for that. Probably suffered a mild concussion. I did not black out, but you can still suffer a concussion without losing consciousness. I was definitely stunned on the ground. It took my girlfriend and her boyfriend to pick me up. Otherwise, I would have probably just stayed eating the asphalt. But yeah, no, the first week coming back, I laid low, had headaches off and on. Probably should have gone and gotten it checked out, but I didn't. I'm still here. I'm ready to go again. I don't know if Joe's ready to let me go gallivanting wherever, since I now come back with concussions and cut heads. All right, so what have I been working on regarding stitching? Stitching was a great help coming back and recovering. I spent many days out here in the gorgeous weather. I'm sweating, it's so hot. I started on a new whip, but then I've also been working on stitching up models for my March 1st releases. So those have been keeping me busy, but I definitely wanted to stitch on something, a new start, something new and not model related. So, I didn't start this until after I came back. Yeah, so you guys have not seen this. This is Ink Circles, another year, let's see, creeps by. So it's individual mandalas that you could easily, the light is not on, that is just regular, but as you can see, you could easily stitch the mandalas individually, flat folds, ornaments, pillows. I haven't seen anyone working on this, so that's what I gravitate to. That's what I love when it comes to stitching. There's so many patterns out there, but sometimes patterns get popular and then you feel like everyone's stitching it, and so that may delay you in starting it, or you fall out of love with it. So that's what I have loved about this recently. I don't see anyone else stitching it, but if you have it, join in with me. Why not? I had originally started this piece on this fabric. Let's see. This is Blood and Smoke. Love that name. From Stitches and Spice. It's an Australian company. I loved it. I wanted something dark and moody. But as I got stitching it, I realized I didn't really like how the colors weren't. The sun, I tell you. I was not liking how, okay, here we're gonna go this way, how the colors were not necessarily popping off of the fabric. I found that it was kind of getting a little muddy-ish. So I definitely love the fabric, and I have another piece of this as well. I love the modeling on that, and I think something really, really cool. Knowing if I stitch something on this, it's gonna be I was thinking I could reuse this fabric and the other piece I have and do like a one color, if I do like B5200 or like creamish color, and then that would really, really pop off of this. So I decided to restart it, and I pulled out a piece that I still had. I cut off a chunk from my Long Dog sampler that I have decided to end stitching on it. This is 22 count hard hanger in tobacco, and hopefully the New Jersey retreat happens, because then I can just buy up all of the 22 count hard hanger in different colors, because I am loving the coverage. So here's block 1, 2, and 3. I'm working on block 3. I will finish the rest of this block border here when I get to the pattern down here. I'm just kind of page completing, and you would think that the bands along the top are the same, but they are not. They differ. So I didn't want to try to guess and then have to. So, man, that sun. Let's see. Let's move it. Nope. Okay. So here is that ring light. Hold please. Let me see. I'm gonna drop it. Let's see if maybe now we don't get the shadow. So much better. All right. So that's just natural sun though that you're gonna get. So hopefully it doesn't look. Let's just go there. So block 1 was really, really fun. Loved the border on it. Now for these, the skulls are supposed to be filled in, but I like them not filled in. So I decided that was good enough for me. Block 2, and each one is named on the chart, and you're supposed to guess what is what. So can you match the title? So I would assume that this first block is called Head Case. And then I love the second block. It kind of reminded me of like peacock feathers, but with a creepy eye. Maybe that is Black-Eyed Susan? I know it in the chart, then it tells you which ones. And then the third block here I'm working on has 4 coffins that go around and box of elders, maybe. So yeah, I love how this is coming out, and I'm just doing it, stitching the piece in the called for DMC. All right. So that piece I've been kind of going back and forth with work on a model piece and then come back to the ink circles piece, just to kind of break it up. But I'm already having the need to, I want to start something new. I know, stitch what you want, do what you want. You only go around the block once. Some people go around a couple times. It's my OCD though. It's like, oh, I can't. Because I have other things that I want to finish. My whips. I don't know. We'll see. Next video, we'll see if I have started something new. I don't know. All right, so let me show you early, because you guys are my friends and watching me here. I'm going to be showing you part 2 of my 1884 Stitchery design stitch along. Make sure if you are joining in on the SAL to use the hashtag 1884SAL. Some of you have, and I love your progress. I love seeing it. Remember, you pick the fabric, you pick the threads. I'm going with a neutral fabric and 2 blue DMC colors, but you could do each little motif in a different color. You could use variegated, you could use beads, you could use etoile, petite treasure braid, silks, go crazy. So let's see, it is this way. The second part will be released on the 1st. Use this as a backing. It is not too late to join in. You can go over to 1884stitchery.com and you can sign up to receive the PDF version or the printed version, and I will be then mailing those out. If it is mailed copy, I will be sending them out a few days early, so then hopefully you receive it around the 1st or the 2nd. But otherwise the PDFs are sent out just morning of. So the motifs to the left and right and the motifs top and bottom are part 2. And I'm stitching this up as I go with you guys. I was contemplating stitching out the whole entire thing beforehand, but then I didn't want to have like little pieces of paper on the piece, so I thought it would be fun to kind of stitch with you guys. So yeah, this is then part 1 and 2 complete. So I hope you look forward to that and or join in. All right. Next up, I'm going to be showing you guys, will reveal my releases for March 1st. So see, it's an incentive to watch me. I'll be showing you guys what I'm going to be releasing on March 4th, or on March 1st, along with the second part of my stitch along. Let's go with what I'm working on to try to get done so I can get it fully finished, pictures, and then sent off. Arlene Cohen works by ABC, FlossTuber here on YouTube, and designer extraordinaire of her own. Watch for her new releases on March 1st. I have seen them. Yes. So she has helped me with the final touches and layout of all the designs that I have released. So she has definitely played a part in all these designs as well. A design that I have been working on to try to get done for her enough time to put her little spin and magic. So this is the last one that I have to stitch up. Not sure, I'm playing with some names, but I haven't settled on anything quite yet. But I love this piece. I am stitching this 1/2, and I believe this is on, I think it's on 28 count. I'm gonna have to look it up specifically, but I am using Color and Cotton 2 threads. The blue is Sapphire, and the variegated kind of red mauve color is Red Velvet. I love these threads, and I really like how it looks on this sort of natural oatmeal linen even weave that I've chosen. So this will be a release on March 1st, and so here I just need to do the feathers, and this is really cool. It's really easy to stitch up, but I love the impact that it gives. So I'm hoping to either get that finished today or tomorrow. Another finish, or another March 1st release will be this here. This is Have You Talked to Your Plant Today? So I will tell you the story where this inspiration came from, along with the other two that sort of play off this. So for this past Christmas, I bought for the boys jars that it's kind of its own little habitat for 6 to 8 months, Venus flytraps. And they've been sitting in my office window growing, and I need to figure out how to transport them, and then you have to like feed them bugs because they're going to be living in the house anyway. Ayrton had come into my office, and said, you know, you're in here all day, nobody really talks to you. And I said, well, when you're at school, Dad comes into the office and sits in my chair and talks to me, and we sort of chit chat. And he's like, well, who else do you talk to? And I said, well, I talk to Bo and Charlie, my human skulls. And I said, I talk to Erwin and Wally. And he looked at the Venus flytraps. He's like, well, do you talk to the plants? And I sort of giggled because he just kept going on. And I said, you know what? I have not talked to the plants today. And so that I relayed this conversation to Joe, and it just kind of stuck with me. And I thought, I need to come up with some sort of quirky, fun little stitch. So have you talked to your plant today? I did not do a Venus flytrap. I just did this really sort of pretty rose tree bush, and popped it in this thrifted frame. It was sort of off-white, but then I went back and painted it a white. But yeah, I really like how this came out. So this will be a release playing off of the Have You Talked. I decided to go with Have You Talked to Your Cat Today? For all of the cat lovers out there. So then I decided, well, I can't leave the dog people out. So have you talked to your dog today? These both will come in a chart, one chart, both patterns. And as you can see, the cat one is in full X's, and the dog one here is in a back stitch. So I wanted to kind of have some, I guess, options. Yes, full X's are easy enough to do, but I was able to stitch this all up in one sitting the other night, because the back stitching takes less time. So in the chart, you will get the back stitch and full X version of Have You Talked to Your Dog Today? And you will get the back stitch full X's of Have You Talked to Your Cat Today? You can easily enough use the paws if you want to switch those out for the cats that I've charted up. So feel free to, you know, stitch it up how you want. I decided to do this on a really pink, fun fabric. And then I had the, you know, cats are usually always on something that you need or all up in your business. So I decided to take the cat's tail on the have and kind of loop it through the E. And feel free to change up the colors of the paws as well. Now, these are finished in 4x4 wooden frames from Primitive and Wood that I sell on 1884 Stitchery. I currently do not have any in stock, but I plan on making an order this week, I believe, or next week. So I will let you know when I get these in stock. So if you do stitch them up on the called for count fabric, then you know that they fit. Really simple to put together. So it has these holes all the way around, and you're supposed to attach the stitching to, when you're doing this stitching with thread in and out, you're supposed to also be grabbing the fabric. I did not. So on its own, because it's two separate pieces, I stitched this inner all the way around. Then I used spray adhesive and attached it to this back wooden piece, and I went around, sandwiched these two pieces together, and then went around and stitched this up and down, to then give it a, there we go, a finished look. So yeah. So yeah, those 4 designs, the peacocks, have you talked to your cat, your plant today, have you talked to your cat, and have you talked to your dog, will be my March 1st releases. I also have some other designs in the works, but those won't be for a few months. All right. It is free to sign up for 1880 Stitchery newsletter. I am going to be working on releasing one at the beginning of every month, so you can head on over to my website, sign up for the newsletter, which is absolutely free, and then you will be emailed a newsletter with what I would have planned for that month. And yes, February is almost done. Then we have March to think about, but while we are in March, we need to get ready for April. And I will have all the information in my newsletter, but thought, why not get the news out a little early? So for April, I have decided to put together an Aura Latte Studio Sal. Now, if you are unfamiliar with Aura Latte Studio, I have been carrying the designers' designs, been carrying Aura Latte Studio design patterns for well over a year now. Really great, funky, bright, colorful, eclectic sort of designs. So if you go over to 1884 Stitchery, I have 141 all of her designs available for purchase. Right now, I have them all as hard copy, and I want to make them also PDF available. So I will be working on converting them over, but it's going to take a while because I have to then make 141 new listings. For April, I want you to either purchase an Aura Latte Studio design or see if you have any in your stash, and let's all start one together. I will be including here 2 that I'm not sure which one I want to do. Maybe I'll start both. So the first one I showed was Ego Sum, I Am, and the other one was Bunny Battle, which is kooky in its own way. So I'm not sure which one I will be starting in April. I will be having a sale, 40% off all of the Aura Latte Studio patterns. So go on over, start looking. So yeah, and because of that, I'm gonna do a giveaway of 2 of them. Here is Spanish Elegance. So if you would be interested in winning a copy of Spanish Elegance, use the word Spanish in your comment. And here is Lady in Landscape. And if you'd be interested in stitching this, use the word lady. And in my next video, I will be drawing the 2 winners, all that fun stuff. This is open worldwide, 18 or older, subscribe, all that stuff. I received in the mail Valentine's cards and absolutely love them. So thank you, Catherine and Lisa. Catherine's really, really beautiful. And Lisa, of course, you sent me the one with the shoe. However, a little bit higher of a heel, please. But thank you guys for thinking of me and sending those. All right, I have 2 finishes to show you, and that will be it. So one of the last videos I had shown you guys, I was working on making the Prairie Schooler Halloween pieces that I stitched up into ornaments. That did not go as planned. Everything I did, I was just not liking the overall look. So I decided, you know what, I have my little journal, fabric journal that was gifted to me, and I keep kind of my more Halloween spooky-ish small pieces in here. So I decided to add those 2 guys into here. Let's see, let me show you. I frayed the edges here by just pulling out the individual threads, and then I attached them to gold perforated paper. Just stuck them in here with a couple of the glue dots, and I'm fine with this. I am totally okay with them just being in this book. So that is where they will live. I also decided to cheat with my, oh, I have not finished the backing. Corey, E Back to Corey, Friendship Garden, Cultivating Friendship is the translation. I told you guys about this also, and I did it. I just said, McKenna, just do it, for God's sakes. So, I love this frame. So it's actually a raw wooden frame, thrift store. I found like 2 of them, and what's interesting, it's sandwiched. So you have this whole back piece, and then you mount it, and then you have this top frame piece, and I just sandwiched them in between. And as you can see, it fits perfectly. So I did no stitching past this. I think there's like 3 X's off this ribbon down, but I butted the girls' dress right to the bottom, and then I loved that it gave me just a little bit of gap up at the very top. I love how this turned out. I love it on the fabric, and then I painted the frame itself it's kind of a dark purpley gray, and I really just like it. It's delicate and feminine and cute and kind of not me, but it is me. But I have my goth side too. You just would not think the person that stitched this collects human skulls. I know, crazy. But yeah, I love how this came out. And I don't sign any of my pieces. I write everything on the back, all the information, so I need to do that. And then this will be done. I have an Al Forrest embroidery order that is getting boxed up and should be shipped out shortly. So I cannot wait for that because I have brand new goodies coming for you guys. And I'll be excited to show those. So, new releases, so excited about. Sign up for the newsletter if you are not receiving my newsletter. This is so weird, these lines. There, it looks like I'm wearing a mask. Thank you guys for watching. Stay warm. Don't get concussions. And happy stitching. And you guys will see me next time.